What's up everybody, it's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and I have a question for you. Have you ever had an instructor get frustrated with you? And if you're an instructor, have you ever gotten frustrated with your students? Let's talk about it. Cue the music. Alright, if you guys are finding me for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, red button down below that says subscribe. That way you are notified anytime I put out a new video in regards to marching arts, marching bands, drum lines, inner percussion, drum corps, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. Now also make sure that notification bell is ringing. That way for sure you will be notified anytime I put out a new video. So subscribe, make sure that notification bell is ringing. And let's get to the video. Okay, so I'm inspired to create this video because I posted, a promotion for my latest YouTube video, or my last YouTube video. And it's just basically a behind the scenes of me teaching a drum line, teaching how I teach feet and feet timing and all that stuff, how your hands line up with your feet. And I'll show you the clip right now. Here we go. Add an accent, go. So 1 and 2 and. Don't. So after you do 1 and 2, keep your feet on the ground. You're just doing 2 steps. Keep your feet on the ground, add an accent after that. And then. No. So based on that clip, maybe out of context, your first impression might be that, I was frustrated or I was being very stern with the student and stuff like that. And maybe there was that feeling for sure. I definitely am an emotional instructor at times. I definitely, am totally engaged, and I can be very, like I said, just have a lot of emotional ranges. But if you look at the whole context of the video, for the most part, I'm very positive, I'm very encouraging, and I crack jokes, I laugh and stuff like that. And maybe with this one particular student, I'm trying to, it's weird, right? It's like I'm trying to go back to that point in time and try to think about what I was feeling and what I was thinking. I do remember that it was a particular student who hasn't played drums before, so and it was just he was kind of in that tryout mode, and he just wasn't getting it, right? So it's yeah, possibly I might have been frustrated that he wasn't getting what I was teaching right away, but for the most part, again, like I said, in the context of the video, I was just merely trying to get that out of him. It was just more trying to be very serious in that, wake up, let's go, let's get it, you can do this, right? Was there a little bit of frustration? That's possible, right? Like I said, I mean, it's a new student, and sometimes they don't get it right away, and as a human being, sometimes I get frustrated too. Don't even compare me to when I first started teaching. Oh my goodness, that was dark Carl. I was very dark. I got very frustrated very often, short temper, all that stuff. I've definitely grown since then, and if you've seen from all my videos, I'm very, like I said, I'm very positive, I'm very engaged, I'm very energetic and all that stuff, and for the most part, I am that way. I'm very positive and light. I don't take things very seriously. Ask any of my current private students right now, how I am with them. Now, does that mean that I never get frustrated? Of course, sometimes I do get frustrated, and I just want to talk about how how sometimes instructors can get frustrated. And I don't know how it is for them, but I know for me, the way I see it is that when I get frustrated, I feel it's because it's my ego, right? It's my ego getting upset because it's I'm giving you this knowledge that you should be able to get right away, because I've constructed this really cool way of teaching that's really effective, and why aren't you getting it, right? So it's the ego speaking. It's I don't get it. This student is not getting the formula that I created, this awesome formula that I developed that is effective for everyone, that they'll get things so fast because it's so good and so great. Do you see what I'm saying, right? So it's we instructors, we fall under that trap as well, where we just fall in love with our own greatness, our own greatness as teachers, our own great philosophies and techniques. And if somebody doesn't get it right away, it's what? We don't get it, right? So and I don't know what it's how that is for other instructors. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just they really want the student to get it, and it's maybe they're being frustrated for them, right? Where it's you have that feeling of, I know you can get this, why aren't you getting this, right? So they get upset and they get frustrated, okay? And it comes out in certain ways, it comes out, you can see it in their in their body language, you can hear it in their tonality, you can see it in their face, okay? So that does happen. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're an instructor, okay, it's okay to sometimes get frustrated. I think that's part of the process. I think that's part of the you know, it comes with the territory of teaching. But as much as possible, right? Try to be positive, try to be encouraging. Don't let the ego get in the way. And you know, it's like everybody has their own learning curve, and some students will learn things fast. Some students will learn it slow. You have to allow that to happen. You have to allow that to develop through its natural course, and don't be frustrated if, you know, like no matter what happens, right? Whether they learn it slow or learn it fast or whatever, okay? If you're a student, okay, understand that instructors are human beings. We are prone to have these, you know, emotional, I don't want to say outbursts, but these emotional, like, you know, fragilities. Like sometimes we can be fragile in that, like, you know, maybe we feel like our ego is getting hurt because you're not getting it right away, okay? That's not your fault, that's our fault. So don't get too upset if you see that an instructor is getting frustrated with you, or they're getting upset that you're not getting it, or they're just really just trying to get your focus, like, you know, hey, wake up, like, let's go, right? I think that is also part of good teaching, is that, you know, they make you so hyper aware because they're just like in your face, like, yo, let's go, right? And when you do that, sometimes that's when you can bring out the best in yourself, and you can put out the best you know, effort that you can possibly make, okay? That's the point of my video today, which is, you know, if you're an instructor, all right, try to be as positive as you can, be encouraging, but, you know, you're human, so sometimes you might get frustrated, sometimes you might get upset. That's okay, but then take a step back, all right, take the ego out of it, and just, you know, think about the fact that not all students are the same. Not all students are the same. Some will get it fast, some will get it slow, and it's all good. And if you're a student and you've ever had an instructor get upset with you, if you do have an instructor get upset with you, they get frustrated and stuff like that, cut them a little bit of slack, all right? It's like, you know, sometimes it's not your fault. Maybe it's just, you know, like it's their ego, you know, like kind of like telling them, like, why isn't the student getting my amazing, like, you know, teaching technique? Or, you know, there's just like, maybe they're having a bad day, who knows, right? Have that empathy for them as well. It's nothing personal. It's just that, like, you know, maybe there's something within them that's happening that's causing them to feel that way, okay? But do your best, all right, to just, you know, like I said, provide that empathy, and then, you know, also see that maybe they're trying to just bring out the best in you. So try to step up to the plate and get better. You will be glad that that happened, because now you're performing at your best. Does that make sense? Okay, so hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully this video was insightful. I don't know, sometimes I can't talk. Do me a huge favor. If you like this video, please hit that like button down below. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments below as well. If you have not subscribed yet, after I told you to subscribe, make sure you subscribe. It's that red button down below. And if you feel like this video could help somebody else out, maybe it's an instructor that could hear these words. Maybe it's a student who, you know, had an instructor like get mad at them, and now the student's feeling like, oh, this instructor doesn't like me, they hate me. Like, you know, show them this video, okay? Like I said, sometimes most of the time, it's not personal at all, okay? It's something that's going on within us as instructors, where we just, you know, like I said, maybe we're having a bad day. Maybe, you know, we're recalling the past. Like, you know, for me, sometimes my past comes out. My past being that I was an angry instructor. I was, you know, very short-tempered. I was not very patient at all. I was very, very, very egotistical. So, you know, I was definitely not the best instructor to learn from at that time, at the younger age. And I've since grown from that, but that side of me still comes out once in a while. I know that, and I notice that, and I try to, you know, just better myself by acknowledging those moments, and then thinking, okay, I gotta be better. I gotta, you know, I gotta stay positive. I gotta, you know, not get angry with the student. But, you know, I'm human. Sometimes, you know, I can't help it. But I do my best. I do my absolute best. Know that, okay? If you're a current student of mine who is watching this, or a past student that's seeing this right now, do leave me a comment about, like, you know, what your experience is like with me. If I've ever been negative, or, you know, if you appreciate some of the positive stuff I brought to the table, let me know that as well, okay? So cool. Hopefully I get a chance to work with you guys, you know, like either through, you know, private lessons, or, like, you know, my video products and stuff like that. Make sure you check that out. Go to carldrumtech.com, and then you'll get more information about that, okay? So cool. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You should totally watch more of my videos by clicking over here and subscribing over here. Peace.